This is what we got going on. Getting ready to start putting in these good used set of control arms. Got a new set of bushings for the top of them. Powder coated differential cover, because then the fluid needs to be changed. Which we can tell it's been leaking a little bit. Hopefully it's not leaking too bad around the pinion, but these control arms are really in terrible shape. I got a new set of shocks too. Got a set of 1-inch lowering blocks we're going to put on there. So I got new U-bolts back here for the back, so if I end up having to cut them out, that's what we'll do. And you can see the holes through the control arm there. Been like that for a while. I've had some. I'm just going to get some put in it. So get this thing up in the air a little bit higher and we'll get started on this. Okay, I'm going to try to put some heat on these nuts down here. I'm going to try to keep from cutting the U-bolts. Just going to leave cutting as a last resort. Real good. Just back and forth here just a little bit. That's to turn the compressor on. About to run clear out of there. I'm going to go ahead and heat on this back one here just a little bit. Let's try this again on the back one. Yeah, that sounds better. know if I had a hotter torch, this would come out quicker. Block it up before I drop it off there anymore. Okay, got the U-bolts loose. The only thing I gotta let it do is get the bolt out of the bottom of the spring on each side. I gotta take the drive shaft loose because these front bolts won't come out. They're hitting the drive shaft. Now the nuts on them, it took a bunch of heat and some PB blaster and an impact, and then finally got them things loose. So now I'm going to take the drive shaft loose so I can get them 2 bolts out of there. Then I'll take this bolt out of the bottom of the spring. Got everything all jacked up. It'd be a whole lot easier if we had a lift. Be back in. Okay, we can see where the pinion seal's been leaking a little bit. Let's start taking the bolts loose out of the yoke, and somebody's put a bolt clean through and put a nut on both sides. So that's a pain. Now I gotta have to get that out. Okay, got the bolts out of there okay, even though one's got a nut on it. I'm going to pull the drive shaft out later and put universal joints in it, but I'll put a block of wood in it here. That way to hold it up, get enough room to get pull these bolts back out. So pull the bolts out of the bottom of the springs and be ready to drag these trailing arms out. Okay, I got this one out, getting ready to put it back over in there. I got these energy suspension bushings I'm going to put up here in the front. And we'll get that in place, and then we'll go back and work on the back. Yeah, I got the new bars set up in here. I got to tighten up the U-bolts. I like putting a little bit of this never see stuff on the threads just in case they ever want to get it back apart again. Got the 1-inch spacers in there, so we'll work on getting these bolts here cranked up. Yeah, what I'd like to do is I kind of run the nuts up even. As I'm going, I'll just kind of take the measuring device here and measure down to the end and go back and forth with the impact just till they start to snug up. Now I'm going to do the final torque by hand on them, but that way it keeps it pretty even. And this is the shocks I'm putting on. I'm putting on the Monroe OE Spectrum ones. They seem to be pretty decent shocks, so we're going to see how it rides. I already got the one in there, and I got the control arms or the trailing arms all tightened up last night. So I get these shocks on there. Still got to pull the cover off and drain the rear end. Pull the drive shaft out and check the U-joints. Okay, we got put 2 new universal joints in. Both ends of the drive shaft, so now we'll crawl underneath here and put the drive shaft back in. Then we'll want to turn the truck around, maybe work on the air conditioner a little bit before I get into the brakes.